This one today we're gonna do another video here, and we're gonna do another jersey rankings. But this time here, we are gonna do the MLB City Connect jerseys line that some teams have as of right now. So today, basically, we're just gonna do rank the ones from the first 2 years of the program. Of course, the third year is just start right now. We've only seen the one with the Braves, so I'm gonna hold off on the Braves and the other ones until we get to see all of them. Because there's, I think, like 5 teams I know. Cincinnati has one, the Pirates have one. The Braves have one. The Mariners have one. I think there's one other team in there, but we're going to kind of hold off until we see them all before I rank those. But so I'm just going to rank the corn ones as of today, what all we've seen so far from them. And I'm going to give my thoughts. So let's get this started here. So first off, we have an S tier here, very, like, the best of the best. We have an A tier. We have a B tier. We have a C tier. And then we have a this sucks tier. I didn't pick that. That's just the way this came. And it's confusing to change it, so I'm just not going to change it. But yeah, so let's pretend that says this is bad. Like, it just doesn't look good and not sucks. But yeah, let's get into it. First off, here we have the Angels jerseys City Connect, and I'm going to say here, these are B tier. I think they are a good looking jersey. They look good for the most part, but they're nothing like special to me. Like, I think they're good, like throwback one, but like they're not compared to some of the other ones on this list. They're not the best ones out here, but they do look good for the most part. I do like them, and I think overall, compared to some of the Angels jerseys that are out there, they're definitely some of the better ones we've seen. But yeah, I definitely like them a lot, and for the most part, but compared to some of the other ones on the list, I gotta put it at a B. But a lot of great positives. I really like the logo they have on the hats, and then the Angels text on the front. I think it looks really good, and it's kind of like a nice throwback, but it's also not a throwback. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it. But next up here we have the Houston Astros one, the Space Cities. I think that's also a C. I really like the Space City ones, but just compared to some of the other ones on here, it just doesn't stand up to some of the ones up here. And just, I'm just not the biggest fan of it from what's compared to, like, if just comparing them to some of the other ones, like, they just don't hold up as well. But I do think they're good-looking jerseys, and for the most part, I think they're some great alternates that the Astros have. And for the most part, there's a lot of positives to this jersey. I really like the Space City outline. I like the stripes in between the colors there, how it's like the red and the yellow. Like, it's kind of like a merging of that. It looks very nice. The hat's got a great logo. And there's a lot of great positives to this, but compared to some of them, it just has to be a B, kind of like the Angels one. But next up here, we have the Boston Red Sox one, and this just stinks. I'm sorry. It's just not Red Sox. I know they go after like the Boston City flag and stuff like they're basing it off of, but it just doesn't look good. I'm sorry, but it's just not a good jersey. And overall, it just doesn't clear. Like, when you think Red Sox, you think red. And this is just... It just doesn't look good in my opinion. Like, there's nothing that makes you think, wow, this is a great jersey. It's just like... It seems like a little way too colorful. Like, if this is a team like the Pirates and had a yellow jersey, like, that would make sense. Or like a team that I say is yellow. But a team like the Red Sox to go like yellow and blue, and normally I think yellow and blue or blue and gold is a great matchup. But here it just doesn't look that good, and I'm just not a fan of this one. I don't like it. Yeah. Now, this is probably my least favorite one out of all the City Connects we've seen so far, and it just doesn't look that good in my opinion. I just don't think it looks good. Next up here we have the Milwaukee Brewers one, and this is an S tier. I'm sorry. The Blue Crew ones, they just look great. The baby powder blue looks spectacular on the jerseys. And the gold they use on it just fits so well. And the logo they use for the text with Blue Crew on the front, it looks great. Like, the font's great. Like, everything about the jersey looks great. And I'm a big fan of this jersey. This is one of those ones that's like, wow, like, it's one of the best ones out there. And I'm a big fan of it. I think definitely looks good. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm not gonna say it's the best Brewers one. I think all the Brewers ones are really good, but it's kind of it's up there honestly when it comes to how good it looks. But yeah, no, definitely, I'm a big fan of that one. But next up here, we have the Wrigleyville ones for the Chicago Cubs. Another, like, S tier here. These just look great. The dark navy and the baby blue and the white, they just all fit in so well together. It just looks like a nice, clean jersey. Great font on the front, and just overall, it's clean. And it just looks like a nice jersey. If I wasn't a Pirates fan, I definitely kind of want this one. It just looks great, I work for a local team called the Buffalo Blue Sox in Buffalo. It's like a collegiate baseball team. But they actually they have new jerseys this year that look very nice, and they kind of based them off these with the color scheme, and it's just a great color scheme. Like, it's a very underrated color scheme, and I think it just works so well here on these jerseys. They look great, and I just think of, wow, they're nice jerseys to just look at here. But next up here we have the Arizona Diamondback ones, and these are a C. I think they look good for the most part, but compared to some of the other ones here, they're just not the best. Honestly, like, I don't hate them or anything, but like, they're just not as venomous as some of the other ones. Like, it definitely gives me a feel like the desert and like Arizona, but like, I don't know. There's some bum, like, I just don't think it's as good as the other ones, in my opinion. But they are good, solid jerseys, and I definitely think they do look nice. But compared to some of the other ones, they're just not as good. But next up here we have the San Francisco Giants, and I hate these ones. The gradient of the white, it just doesn't look good. Like, it makes it seem like it's merging with the jersey, and it's just kind of like conflicting. Like it's the problem is, like, the white kind of screws it up like the G. Like, you can tell it's a G and stuff. But like, with the white in the bottom, it's hard to see the actual bottom of the G. So it kind of looks like a 6. I know that's weird. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, if you look at that closely, it looks like a 6. It doesn't even look like a G because like it's missing the bottom portion of it, kind of like, because it turns into like a white gradient. And I like gradients on some jerseys. I know the Vancouver Canucks had a reverse retro in 2021. They did like a kind of looked like a spike can, but it was like a blue that turned into green. Like, that looked great, like gradient wise. But here it just doesn't work. The only thing I like about these ones is I do like how it has the blitzes on the side to like signify the Golden State blitz. I really do like that. I hope the Pirates, with their new ones this year, they do something with the blitzes on the sleeves as well, because I think it looks cool. But other than that, I don't really like the jersey, and I just don't think it looks like it. But next up here we have the Los Angeles Dodgers. I love these ones. These ones took me for a while to get to like really fall into, but they're basic, but they're also not. Like, it's kind of just like the fun part's like all subtle and stuff. Like, when you get to like the sleeves here, it has like a black gradient, and like, it's just interesting to look at. Like, if you just look at it, I've been looking at it for a while. It's like, at first, like, it's a weird, nice blue one, nothing too special. But the more you look at it, the more I like it more. Cause like, I just really love like the black, sleeve part there. It has like the gradient, like a fox or something like coming up. It just looks so slick, and like, honestly, if you're watching the actual baseball game, it just looks great. And it's just one of those jerseys. It's just like, yeah, that just looks good. Next up here, we had the Miami Marlins ones. They went off a Negro team that played in Miami. I think it was called the Sugar Kings. And I love these jerseys. These are easily the best Marlins jerseys they have by far. They're not bland like the other ones. They're very colorful, nice. They have a great text Miami in the front. The hats look great with the teal and the actual logo there. It's just... everything about that jersey looks great. It's one of my favorite ones, honestly. I would actually say it's probably my favorite City Connect one out of all of them. I mean, it's a great, nice-looking jersey, and that's pretty much all I have to say, but yeah, it's great. Next up here, we have the Washington Nationals one, and another one. I love this one. It's very different, but I think that's how it works. That's how it succeeds, is because it's very different. It's not what you expect from the Washington Nationals. From Nationals, you expect something like red, white, and blue, American pie and stuff. But they decided to go for more subtle, like, they go something like more about like the culture of DC with like the cherry trees. If you know about that, I don't know, but like, they were given as a gift from Japan in like the 70s, and they're playing all around DC, and they're very cool to look at. I never got to see them in full bloom, but if you look at pictures of them in full bloom online, they are a sight to be seen. And I'm not a flower guy or anything like that, but like, even after it looks pretty. It's pretty beautiful. And I think these jerseys, I love how the gray works with the pattern. It just looks clean. It's different. It's just something about it's like, it looks good. I just think it's got a great design to it. And it's got a great theme. And I think overall, it really does reflect some of the actual culture of the city of DC. And I think it just works so well into this jersey, in my opinion. But next up here, we have the Taco Bell jerseys, the San Diego Padres ones. I love these ones. They're so weird, but that's what makes it special. Like, it's just iconic because it's special. Like, it's kind of like the Nationals one. It's nowhere close to what the actual jerseys are like, but it just looks so good. Like, it's just so different. Like, it gives just like a great like 80s video game feel. Like, it just looks great, and it also makes me think of a Baja Blast from Taco Bell. But yeah. I just love these toys. They look great on the field. They look great in pixels. And overall, I think they're some of the best ones, in my opinion. But next up here, we have the Colorado Rockies. These are a D. A lot of people like them, but I'm just not a big fan of the green and the white. I just don't think it looks good. I like the mountain texture, and if it was in a different color, I'd probably put it up higher, but I just don't like the green. I just don't think the white and the green really fits the Colorado Rockies. I just don't see it, and I'm just not a big fan of these ones. But next up here, we have the Kansas City Royals. I love these ones. These are A's. They're very underrated, but the KC logo for the lines and stuff, it just looks great. That is a cool logo, and I hope they continue to use that in the future with other jerseys for the Royals, because that just looks great. And I love the stripes on the sides. It gives you like a 70s, 80s jersey feel, but it also has a more modern style with like the lines and the KC. And I think overall it's a nice, clean-looking jersey, and it's kind of like the Dodgers one. Like, it takes a little bit for you to look at it, but the more you look at it, the more you like it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's one of those jerseys, they just look good, you know what I mean? But next up here we have and lastly we have the Chicago White Sox. These are A-tier. Whenever the first City Connect ones came out, these are clearly the best ones, and they've continued to be some of the best. I don't think they are the best, because I think the Miami Marlins one is the best one. But they're up there, just like, they're great looking jerseys. They just look good. They're like a fun one to wear, I think, for the most part. Just overall, I would say those are some of the best ones that are out there, in my opinion. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little shorter than some of the other ones I normally do, but there's not that many of them, so it didn't take really that long to go through. But if you guys did like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. And tune in for more. I'll see you guys next time.